Today, we're diving into a fascinating guide that's over 600 years old, but it tackles one of the biggest, most personal questions we can ever ask. Who are you, really?
So let me ask you something. Just think about it for a second. Beneath all the noise, the constant stream of thoughts, the shifting emotions, all the things you see and do every single day, what is that steady, unchanging part of you that's aware of it all? That core I?
Well, it turns out this isn't a new question. And an incredible philosophical text from the 14th century, the Pancadasi, gives us a timeless and surprisingly practical blueprint for discovering that answer for ourselves.
Okay, so what is this text? The Pancadasi was written by a brilliant 14th century sage named Swami Vidyaranya, and here's what's so cool about it. It wasn't meant to be some dense academic book. Nope, it was designed as a hands-on guide for anyone who seriously wants to understand reality and, their own place in the whole shebang.
And a big clue about how it works is hidden right in the name. Pancadasi literally just means 15. Why 15? Because it's broken down into 15 chapters, and each chapter is like a deliberate step, a lesson designed to walk you from a place of confusion to one of real clarity.
Now, this is where the true genius of the text really shines. It isn't just a random collection of thoughts. It has this incredibly logical, three-part structure that perfectly maps onto the definition of ultimate reality in Advaita Vedanta philosophy.
See, those 15 chapters are neatly bundled into 3 sections of 5. The first part is all about analysis. It dives into Sat, or pure existence. The second section is like turning on a light. It illuminates Sit, or consciousness. And that final section, it explores Ananda, which is pure, unlimited bliss. And together, what do you get? Sat Sit Ananda, the very fabric of reality itself. It's so elegant.
Okay, so that's the big picture theory. But how do we get from that grand idea to, well, us? How do we make it personal? This is where the text gives us a really powerful, systematic way to look inward. The main technique here is analyzing what are called the panchakoshas, or the 5 sheaths. The idea is simple. Our true self, our Atman, is kind of buried under 5 layers of things we think are us, but aren't. The Pancadasi teaches you how to investigate and, one by one, peel back each of these layers.
Honestly, it's just like peeling an onion. You start with the most obvious layer, the Annamaya kosha. That's your physical body. Go deeper, and you find the Pranamaya kosha, your vital energy, your breath. Deeper still is the Manomaya kosha, the mind. Then the Vijnanamaya kosha, your intellect. And finally, the Anandamaya kosha, that sheath of bliss you touch in deep sleep. The whole point is to guide you to realize, wait a minute, I'm the one watching all these layers. I'm not the layers themselves.
To make this idea crystal clear, Swami Vidyaranya uses this brilliant analogy. He says it's like carefully pulling the soft inner stalk out of a stiff blade of munja grass. In the same way, a discerning, courageous person can learn to separate that pure inner self from all the layers it's gotten mixed up with. It just makes this huge, profound task feel totally tangible, totally possible.
And that right there brings us to the real magic of the Pancadasi, and why people are still studying it 600 years later. It's just so incredibly accessible. The text has this genius for taking the most complex, out-there concepts and making them completely understandable.
You know how some ancient philosophical texts can feel, well, impossible? Like you need a decoder ring just to get through the first page? The Pancadasi is the exact opposite. It's written in this simple, conversational style. It seriously feels less like you're reading a scripture and more like you're having a direct conversation with a very patient teacher.
In fact, this teaching style even has a name, Laukika Drishtanta. It basically means using simple, everyday, worldly examples to explain the deepest truths you can imagine. The text uses things like a painted canvas, or a pot made from clay, or a reflection in a pool of water to explain huge ideas about the universe and the self. It's an amazing technique for making abstract stuff feel real and concrete. So why do all this? Why go on this whole journey of self-analysis? What's the end game? The text is super clear that this is not just some fun intellectual puzzle.
The ultimate goal is something called moksha, and that means complete, total freedom. We're talking about liberation from that endless cycle of suffering and feeling limited because we think we're just our body and mind. It's about realizing what you've always been, limitless existence, pure consciousness, and unending bliss.
And get this, the pancadasi even gives you a roadmap for the journey. It lays out 7 clear stages a person goes through. You start out in ignorance and distraction, which sounds about right, but then you move through learning and studying all the way to a direct, unshakable knowing. And the journey ends in these final stages, a total release from sorrow and a state of, well, unrestrained satisfaction. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's a clear, step-by-step path to freedom.
So when you put it all together, the pancadasi gives you a blueprint, a method, and a map. It takes this huge, intimidating path to self-knowledge and makes it feel systematic, logical, and achievable. So really, the only question it leaves for us is, now that you've seen the map, are you ready to explore the territory of your own self?